What's up, man? Gather around, I got a story to tell. Gather around, I got a story to tell. Today is a special day. Before I tell a story, it's Hoke's 4th birthday. My brother, Hoke, I'm waiting for you. You know what I mean? I'm still parked up. You know what I mean? Waiting for you to come through. You know what I'm saying? I got the rolls. I told you I was going to, surprise you today. Pull up in a big boy. You know what I mean? Because that's what we deserve. You know what I'm saying? But, shout out to Hoke's 4th. Let me loosen up the seatbelt real quick. I'm gonna tell a story. You know what I mean? It's a special story. We gonna talk about we're gonna talk about I got a few. All right, I'm gonna tell you about this story that happened to me in Fish Gale. This wasn't too long ago neither. And I was in B Center. Because Fish Gale got two parts of it. It's up the hill and down the hill. Anybody that been to Fish Gale, they know up the hill is where they send the goons, the high classification, the straight, it's gangsters all over Fish Gale, any prison in the world. But up the hill was like real tough. It's rough, it's tough. The people know the tunnels, the stairwells. That's where people are getting hit, cut, stabbed. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? If you've been there, then you understand and you know what's going on. And where I was at, man, we had that shit on lock. Like I don't want to say we ran the house because that don't even make sense. How about we just ran up the hill? When I say we, me and the team, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna put everybody's name out there. I'm just shout out a few people. Butter Blizz, shout out my boy Ak, shout out to SP. Everybody, man. Listen, if I forget you, it's not because shout out to Wavy. Shout out to my nigga Wavy, real. Everybody know who they. Loopy. My nigga Loopy, everybody, man. For real, B. Up the hill, we ran it. You know what I'm saying? And it's a lot of us. You understand? But so many of us. It was about 60 of us. You know what I'm saying? And we was mobbing, man. We're protecting each other, making sure we was all right. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my son Stacks, the Billy boy. Shout out to, oh my God, but so many of us, man. We was mobbing. If I forget y'all, it's because my brain is just like, racing right now because I want to get to the story. So the police officers, correction officers, one thing about Fish Gale, they let you run the show, because they don't want to work. You feel me? They want to do less work. All they want to do is beat somebody ass in Fish Gale. If you go Google right now, Fish Gale prisoner beat down by a correction officer, you're gonna see a lot of articles, man, because in Fish Gale they'll whip your ass. They got these stairwells in Fish Gale. They'll throw you down the staircase and say that it was an accident. I know many dudes who snapped their neck. There was a couple dudes that even got killed, I'm not going to say no names about who did what because I don't know that part of it. But I do know a lot of people was killed because they got thrown down them stairs. You know what I'm saying? So Fish Gale is very, very dangerous, man, especially up the hill. Down the hill is dangerous too, but up the hill was very dangerous. So I'm just giving you a snapshot of how it is, right? So in my dorm, we had some correction officers that let us run the show. And Fish Gale is a mental health facility. Anybody that been to Fish Gale will know that it's a mental health facility, right? So they got all kind of mentally challenged people in there. And it's not their fault. It's just that the state don't have nowhere to put these people, so they gotta mix them among the regular people. And that's the problem because some people are zero tolerance like myself, and we don't tolerate somebody just coming in the dorm and causing static and upheaval, right? So it was this one dude, man. This dude was about 6'5". He was everything that scared these white people about black people. This dude embodied. Like, he was big, 6'5". He was solid. This dude was like 260 solid. You hear me? All muscle. And he was mentally challenged though. You know what I'm saying? And the COs were scared of his presence. He was a big guy. So what happened was they had nowhere to put him because they transferred him out the mental health ward and they put him in my house. Now, when dudes seen him walk through the door, people were intimidated. Like, look at this big motherfucker. And then he was acting erratic. Like, you could tell he had mental health problems. He was just touching things and he was just moving shit off the correction officer desk. People was like, oh, this is we call them bug outs. Like, oh, this is a bug out. That's slang for a crazy person. For those that don't know the prison slang, that's why I'm explaining that. But this dude is a bug out, and he went inside the day room, you know what I'm saying, where the TVs is at. And one thing about Fish Gale, you just don't go touching shit, you know, in the day room. Like, you're gonna get a chair, but you gotta wait for somebody to give you a chair. You just don't just grab a chair. That's a man's chair. A man had that chair for 2 years. Who the fuck are you to come in and grab a chair? You know, but you will be given a chair. Just wait 20 minutes to get your chair. But this dude just grabbed like 3 chairs and stacked them together, sat in the chair. That's a no-no. You don't do shit like that, you know? And then people were eating, and he like, yo, can y'all make me something to eat too? The dudes was like, who is this guy? But they intimidated, you know, because he's a big dude. And the COs are definitely intimidated by him. It was one CO in particular, you know, white dude. I don't want to say that he's racist, but I know this big black motherfucker intimidated him. And he came to the guys that's running the house. You know, I'm one of them. It was a couple of us, and he was like, yo, this dude gotta go. He's scaring people. But we like, no, he's scaring you. That's why you want him to go. So we're not gonna do the police dirty work, you know. If y'all want him to go, then y'all go handle that, right? But this dude started becoming a nuisance, and what he did was he went inside an old man room, because they got rooms in Fish Gale. He went inside the room, and he just went in his locker and took his food. Now that's a no-no. You violating, because this old man, he didn't bother nobody, and people in the house like the old man. And who the fuck are you to be coming into a new house taking something from someone, right? So that alerted us right there. We had a meeting, a quick little 5-minute meeting, and basically we all agreed he got to go. But who wants to fight this big motherfucker, right? He's a big dude, man. I'm telling you, he's very big, man. He looked crazy, you know? So I just stopped smoking cigarettes, right? I used to smoke a lot of cigarettes. I was stressed out, you know, I did a lot of time. So I just stopped smoking at the time, because I'm about to come home, and I don't want to come home to a bad cigarette habit. So I wanted to test out my stamina anyway, just to see if I still got it, and I got endurance to last in the fight, right? So silently, I agreed to myself, like, I'm gonna be the one that's gonna fight him. But nobody else really wanted to get at the dude. My man Wavy wanted to cut him, you know what I'm saying? But I didn't want Wavy to cut him, you know what I'm saying? Because what happened to that dude Tell, and then Wavy get a new bid. So we were just like seeing who was gonna get at the dude. And I was already with it already. In my heart, I already signed up, you know what I'm saying? So I ain't saying nothing, though. I just want to see who else gonna sign up with me, right? And my man Gunna, shout out to the Ape Gunna, Wine Dance, Long Island, my brother Gunna. Gunna said, man, fuck all that. And now y'all got to see how Gunna look. Gunna, what him do, you look at his face, you know, like, yo, he's on it. So Gunna was like, man, it's time. Just get the okay from the police. So once we looked at the police, and the police gave us a thumbs up, it was over. Gunna went over there. So I just followed right behind him, right? I said, fuck, that's my man. Gunna, yo, look, I'm going out with Gunna. So as soon as we get over there, we see the big motherfucker. We like, what's up, nigga? He was like, what's up? He's a big stupid nigga, what's up? My man Gunna getting with him, boom, boom, swinging on him. Yo, this dude was throwing blows like haymakers that, man, if them shits would have connected, it would have killed one of us. So he trying to get at Gunna, Gunna getting at him. I jump right in, start popping on him, boom, boom, boom. So now he fighting both of us, right? And I'm getting tired. Like, yo, I just stopped smoking. I'm getting tired. But yo, when Gunna get tired, that's when I turn up and I start hitting them. And then, you know, me and Gunna going back and forth for a long time. It's like 4 or 5 minutes straight fighting. That is very fucking long to be fighting. And we wearing him down because he's starting to like throw slower punches, but we beating his ass. You know what I'm trying to say? This big motherfucker. Everybody in the house is just looking like fascinated. Like, look at these two motherfuckers beating this big motherfucker ass. But this big motherfucker was not going down. You hear me? He wasn't going down until one of the apes, my man Harden. Now, Harden looked just like, what's Will Smith's son in Karate Kid? Jaden Smith. He looked just like Jaden Smith. Like, he's 25 years old, but looked like a 9-year-old Jaden Smith. He's like 90 pounds. My boy Harden, man. Harden and his family. Harden jumps over the cube, right? He jumps over the cube. This guy 90 pounds, man, soaking wet. He hit this big motherfucker. I swear to God, no lie, this nigga Harden knocked this nigga clean out. Me and Gunna looked at each other like, what the fuck? What the fuck? We like, yo, Harden, what you hit him with? He said, nothing, my fist. Yo, he knocked that motherfucker clean out, man. And the COs seen them, they were like, that's enough. So the COs was like, now they want to get their licks in. So they pick him up. And then the dude was like, he's like, wild on the COs. Oh, all that crazy strength. The COs pull out their sticks and beat his motherfucking ass. Whooped his ass bad. All you did was hear that nigga screaming down that staircase. They might have threw him down the staircase. But I ain't trying to, glorify violence and stuff like that. I'm just letting you know that sometimes the state put mentally challenged people around regular people, and it just don't mix. So if the state, whoever's watching this that's in power, just don't be mixing them bug outs up with regular dudes, because that could get them hurt. You know what I'm saying? If if you got a family member that's mentally challenged, make sure you check up on them and see if they're all right, and tell them to stay away from them gangsters. You understand? And look, that's my story for today. I love y'all. You know what I mean? Shout out to my man Gunna. Free Gunna, you'll be home, baby. Wine Dance, Long Island. You know what I'm saying? I love y'all. Peace.